Be blessed by the divine. We are going to do a brief silence practice. All our sky practices, sky meditation techniques, have three parts. The first part is preparation, which includes purification of the self, surroundings, and protections. Then the meditation. Then the third part is blessings. Be blessed by the divine. We will start now. Purification of the surroundings. The space around us is filled with divine energy. The space around us is filled with divine energy. The space around us is filled with divine energy. We are experiencing the waves of this divine energy descending upon us, purifying our body and life energy. Protections. May this divine energy protect us, guide us, and lead us day and night, at all times, at all places, at all situations. Salutations. Salutations to Mother. Salutations to Father. Salutations to Guru, a Master, Vedatri Maharishi, or whoever you may consider as a guidance. In preparation for the practice, let's do a brief breathing practice, Nadi Suddhi. This helps us to focus. Left hand in Chin Mudra, thumb and index finger touching. Other three fingers extended out. Let's place our left hand on our left thigh or leg. Using our right hand, thumb extended out, the other next two fingers touching the base of the thumb. The last two fingers extended out. Let's close the right nostril and inhale through the left nostril. Let's close the left nostril, exhale and inhale back through the right. Let's close the right nostril, exhale and inhale back to the left. Let's close the left nostril. Exhale and inhale back through the right. If you keep your elbows closer to the body, it'll be easier. Let's change. Change. Closing the left nostril using your right ring finger. We're exhaling, inhaling back on the right. Let's close the right nostril using your thumb. Exhale and inhale back on the left. Close the left. Close the right. Change. 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 Exhale on the left and conclude. Breathing practice. Nadi Suddhi. Let's bring our hands together, thumbs touching each other, rest of the fingers clasped. Let's sit straight. The back, neck, and head straight. Imagine the body has become like a stone statue without any movement. Those who learned vertical clearance, they can do that now. Or those who have been initiated can do that now. If not, just sit still and observe from head to toe. Be blessed by the divine. Spread the meditative energy all over our body. Blessings with the grace of this divine energy. We shall enjoy good health, long life, enough wealth, wisdom, prosperity, and peace. With the grace of this divine energy, we shall enjoy good health, long life, wisdom, prosperity, good fame, and peace. By the grace of this divine energy, we shall enjoy good health, long life, wisdom, prosperity, good fame, and peace. Blessings to life partner. Blessings to children. Blessings to siblings. Close friends, relatives, and family members. Colleagues, or anyone who help in our day-to-day business activities. If there are any whom he even considers as their enemies or miscreants, let's bless them as well with kindness and mercy. Vedatri Maharishi's Vedatriyam, be blessed by the divine. Arya Temple of Consciousness, be blessed by the divine. All meditation centers across the world, be blessed by the divine. Families of all participants who joined in today's session, be blessed by the divine. Twofold moral principle. I, in my lifetime, will not cause pain to anyone, physically or mentally. To the extent possible, I shall help remove the sufferings of others. I, in my lifetime, will not cause pain to anyone, physically or mentally. To the extent possible, I shall alleviate the sufferings of others. I, in my lifetime, will not cause pain to anyone, physically or mentally. To the extent possible, I shall alleviate the sufferings of others. Blessings for rain. May rain pour in all parts of the world, timely and sufficiently. May food grains grow abundantly to the satisfaction of all living beings. The leaders of all nations grow spiritually do good services to humanity. May people thereby live without enmity of war peacefully. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. May peace prevail in us. May peace prevail around us. May there be peace in the entire world. Peace, peace, peace. Let's raise our hands above the head. Let's palms together. Take a deep breath. Let's open our eyes to our palms. Let's feel excess energy all over our body. Be blessed by the divine.
So,
If you notice today, we are trying to sit in silence for a while without any thoughts. But how many of us were able to sit without any thoughts? Yes, we are trying to sit, but is all our thoughts be in one place?
definitely not. Because you know what?
Okay.
That's what, it's 8:30 and the next thing is kids are going to wake up and come, and then somebody is going to trouble me, like things like that. And, was like, oh, I just felt, I should rush. So that's
Mm.
why I questioned. That's why I was like, I had this question today lingering in the back of my mind. Oh, I should ask this. Like, is there a way to shorten the practice? To get the benefits as well, and also be consistent with that.
Exactly.
I really,
Consistent is,
I really
go
love
ahead.
this routine. I really love this new routine. But then I just want to be consistent even after the lockdown.
Exactly. We will have a way to extend it. But what will happen is after the curfew is taken off, we will get initiated, and then we will do this as a practice to focus on the meditation.
Oh.
What we are doing now is more a perceptive meditation, silence practice, maunam, which is just being mindful of what is happening. This is very effective. This is good, but a little difficult. Practicing, focusing it at one point, at the source of the mind itself, when you do that, that helps to calm down the mind. Then when we do this kind of observation, what will happen is we will be aware to the point where we'll be able to capture a thought at the moment when the thought arises. That should be our goal. See, now we are sitting idle and we were trying to just observe every thought. But when a thought occurs, we are just carried away. But after a while, only we are realizing that we have been carried away into another thought. Okay. When we are able to notice at the same instant when a thought arises, that means we have achieved mastery. That is what we are moving towards. Okay, that is our scale.
Okay.
Where am I able to notice at the instant when the thought arises.
So that's why we're practicing all this awareness of so many things, right?
Yep. We started with the physical exercises that helped us in the awareness of the physical movements, the blood flows, and then slowly we were practicing to become aware of the airflow. See, when we are focusing at our breathing practices, when we inhale and exhale, we are also noticing something is moving. And then when we move towards 14-point acupressure and relaxation, we became aware of the energy. And then during relaxation, we realize that wherever we apply the mind, until so far, we were controlling everything with our physical movements. But during relaxation, by just thinking, we notice that something is happening there within the body, right? And slowly, during once we get into meditation, with the same principle, we'll be able to focus and direct our energy into one particular point. That makes the mind to get into a loop and calms down. And hence, we'll get into a calmer state of mind. Okay? And once we, step by step, when we practice, all along, we are training ourselves to observe and notice what is happening within, or we are developing our ability to monitor ourselves step by step. And once we become a master in that, any instant when a thought arises, at that moment we'll be aware, we'll be completely aware of ourselves. And that part, we will be able to experience what all the self-realized folks are saying, which is, or what Veerathri Maharshi says, which is the other end of the mind, where the thought is arised. The other end of the mind is God. We'll be able to clearly identify that the source of the mind is something special. What is that? We'll be able to notice it. Okay, that is what we'll slowly, step by step, we'll move towards that. Blessed by the divine.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Couple of questions. One, how long? First of all, I'm sorry. Please
Again,
go.
please. Okay, neither of, I'm not here.
Okay, can I go?
Okay, Pravina, go ahead.
Okay,
Please.
so I have a couple of questions. One, yesterday or day before, we did the focus from the on the Muladhara to in between our
Agna.
breath. Yeah, that is one. And today we did the silence. So should we can we alternate between the days when our regular routine starts,
Yes.
or how do we do it? And how long should each practice be? Because I seem to because right now you have you are there to prompt us to end the session. Otherwise, we need to know when before we get lost.
Okay. So once we get initiated, our daily routine would be among these three: the part A, which is protection and salutations, purifications, protections, and salutation. And then during the meditation, we'll be doing, in preparation to the meditation, we'll be doing Nadi Suddhi, breathing practice, then vertebra clearance, what we learned yesterday. Then we do meditation. That entire stretch will take almost 20 minutes. And then blessings, which will take another 5 to 6 minutes. We can finish that entire part in about 26 to 27 minutes. Okay, we will be doing that routine throughout the day. I mean, at least at least once a day in the morning, preferably twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. And then towards at least once in a week, we will be doing an increased stretch of silence. When we are doing silence, to get maximum benefit, it has to be done in a batches of 2 hours. I would say at least 45 minutes sets, or as much as possible. If you can sit in silence, just be observant within. If you don't have any other distraction, if you don't have any other immediate responsibility, that is fantastic. Just sit as much as possible without any movement and continue. And if you can, maybe after a while, maybe after 3 hours or 4 hours, you'll not be able to sit unless you reach that state of being in perfect unison with consciousness, or at the state where you are able to lock, where you are able to identify when the thought has just arisen. Right? Unless we come to that state, we will not be able to sit beyond 3 hours or 4 hours. It's still difficult. So don't worry about being lost into that. Okay. If you can do that, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I mean, actually now it's a great opportunity. If we don't have any long commitments, we should strive for getting that. When we don't have, when those who have kids, it's a different story. But setting up early in the day, trying to sit for one stretch for a sitting, and then completely observe within, we will get better awareness of what kind of thoughts we have accumulated within us so far. That is what we are. We will be able to have a better, we'll be able to reflect on us in a much effective manner when we reserve that time and seek within. Okay. Definitely, once they learn meditation and all get initiated, that will become even effective. But the core muscle we are trying to, or the core capability we are trying to develop is the ability to monitor us, to observe us. That is what we are focusing. We are taking advantage of the current circumstance and building that over the period of maybe 2-3 weeks.
Thank you.
All right. Be blessed by the divine.
But actually, while doing this silent meditation, lot of thoughts are arising in the mind. Is there any way where we can have a state where there are no thoughts? Because lot of distractions, lot of thoughts, not able to focus at a single point.
Beautiful question. Do you have a pen or pencil with you?
Yeah, yes.
Let's do one thing. Let's just write down all the thoughts you got.
Okay. Okay.
If anyone has pencil or pen, you can also try it out. Let's do this exercise.
Yeah, I finished.
Seriously, that's it. Maybe you would have listed on 4 or 5.
3. Mainly, yeah, whatever problems we are facing in day-to-day life, that is going in the background. That is the, if I correlate all those thoughts,
Ah,
whatever distractions we are getting or whatever problems we are undergoing, that is the final core of all the thoughts, if we correlate.
very good. Fantastic. I really appreciate that you're also taking the next step. But instead of seeing just as a problem, if you take one more step deeper and if you look into it, you will notice that whatever we are seeing there, whatever we are listed down there as a distraction, there will be one emerging pattern, which is it will be something related to me or mine.
Me or? I didn't get
Mine,
mine.
possessive,
Yes. Yes, true.
right? Realizing that is the key. You know, there is a word for that in English. Saying something is me or mine. Vedatri Maharishi beautifully describes that. It's called ego. If I probably am sitting next to you, you would have given me a slap saying that I have ego.
No, no.
But the truth is, if someone asks us, like, are you egoistic? No, it's like, no, I'm not egoistic, but everybody around me is egoistic. That's how our opinion would be. But we just did an exercise. That's true. Ego means me or mine. The thoughts of me or mine. We saw that we have. Okay. When we are able to transcend that state, when we are able to transcend that, it will be, we will not be distracted by that. How can I be without, I mean, whatever I'm trying to do, whatever I'm trying to help, it's all just part of me. That is what is I'm being identified with. Then we need to ask this question. Am I doing these responsibilities because that is making me feel big and making me feel proud? Or am I doing these responsibilities with the sense of serving? The moment when our attitude of serving or doing these responsibilities becomes a function of serving with the gratitude. Yes, I have already received so many things here. I'm very thankful for that. As a gratitude for that, let me help, let me serve. The moment when we get that attitude and start serving, we will not be bound by those thoughts and will not be distracted by it. That way of being is called Karma Yoga. The way of pursuing our responsibilities with the attitude of gratitude. It starts with understanding this very first step, that I have ego. The moment when you realize that, you'll be freed away from the shackles. The essence of sky is these two things, which is, if you practice sky techniques for a period of 3-4 months, when you completed till Brahmayanam, the expected outcome is to have awareness and Karma Yoga. We will be completely aware of our thoughts, completely aware of our being at the moment when a thought arises. And with that, we will not be staying away from all this life and be ascetic. We will still be pursuing our responsibilities, our duties, but with a morality and with the sense of gratitude to serve. That itself will become a charity. This is the expected outcome when we practice the sky techniques consistently.
So Karthik,
Be best by the way. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Please go ahead.
After we get initiated, while we are doing 20-minute meditation, right? Do we like focus on that Mooladhara, like, just as one point so that we don't get distracted, or?
Okay. After we get initiated, what will happen is, initiation itself is an interesting process. Okay. To help it understand, we know what is initiation, and why that is going to help is what we are going to understand now. Okay.
Okay.
If you want to understand why or how initiation works, you need to know how to make dosa or idli. Do you know how to make dosa?
Yeah.
How do we make it?
You mean from scratch?
Yes.
Like,
by the way, this is going to take almost like, to explain this is going to take at least 10 minutes for me. Okay, if you have that much time, we can discuss this now. I have time, but if you have time, we can discuss this. If not, we can take it another day.
Sure, yeah, we can discuss it. Like, I'll just make it quick. So basically we take, 4 cups of rice and 1 cup of urad dal, soak it,
Okay.
and then
Okay.
for 6 to 8 hours, and then grind it and ferment it, and then once
stop
it's
there. Let's go one more step in detail. Grind it afterwards. What do you do?
Grind it and then mix both urad dal and the rice together, and then add salt, and keep it in a warm place. I mean, in India you can just leave it outside and it gets fermented, but here we try to find other means how to keep the place warm, like keep it in the oven or whatever, and then
this is the between these steps, there is one secret step. If you just follow your instructions and go and do it, okay, then the dosa or idli does not come the same way how you are getting it. Okay. A lot of North Indians are getting into trouble because of this instructions only. Okay. Between this, there is one very important secret step, which we just take it for granted and we don't really realize what is the importance there.
You mean like while mixing, you have to mix it with a hand so that
exactly.
Because the yeast or like yeast and bacteria, whatever, mixes, so that helps to ferment.
So what is happening in your hand? What is special about that?
Because the yeast in the hand, mixes with the batter, so that is the one which actually helps to ferment it.
If you wash your hands and then mix it, will it not ferment?
It's better you don't wash it with soap and water, so you completely destroy the bacteria and
seriously?
the organic.
Seriously? Let's do one thing. Today you try it out then. cleanly wash your hands and then mix it. Very
With soap and
cleanly wash your hands. Yeah, soap, water, whatever. Completely disinfect your hand and cleanly wipe it off. Very clean. And still go and wash. And then do the batter, mixing your hands. It will make the same impact. Let's see.
yeah,
So
I mean,
what will
there are
happen is, what is happening is, remember, when you keep your hands like this, we have done this before. When you keep your hands like this and then move back and forth, you will see a small force between your hands, right?
uh-huh.
The biomagnetism, the magnetic
Right.
force, the energy in the body. That also gets induced in the batter. Okay? That is also the nourishment for the food, for the batter to, for the life to sustain there. Right? We all along in the body, we have this energy flowing through. And we know that, we have seen this. Someday when we mix it, the idli or dosa will be very good. Someday it is not very good. Right? And we just know that, okay, so why sometimes we just think that it is just because of the heat and surroundings. But apart from that, it is also the kind of energy which is coming from the body, which is getting transferred. Right? In a sense, always there is energy flow. Whatever we think, whatever we do, is not just stored in the brain. It is having an equivalent impact in the energy flowing in the body. Okay? And let's say if you are being very distressed, very in an emotionally in a troubled state, that day you try to go in, that day when you make dosa batter, if you see the shell life of that batter, it will go bad soon. You can go and experiment this. Whereas you are in a very peaceful state, or maybe you've learned Kaya Kalpam, or if you've done meditation, and afterwards, if you go and mix the batter, you'll see that the shell life of the same batter will be much longer, at least 2 days more. What is happening? When we do that, the nature of the energy which is flowing in our body is in a very continuous manner. With that, whatever we interact with, there, the energy is interacting. It is creating a similar imprint in there. That is creating an imprint. The same way, this is one thing which we can observe and experiment in all our interactions. In all our interactions, there is an interaction of energy. We think whatever we think at that point, the waves from us reflect on where it is directed to, and then refract towards it, and then comes back. And in the medium where it is reflecting, refracting through, it is penetrating and interacting with that medium, and it has an impact in us. This interaction, this disturbance in the energy imprints is what we call as karma or imprints, karmic imprints. Since when we started having all these imprints? Since when we started having thoughts? Since we are a child. Is that only till then? No. Even before that, our parents were thinking. They also had whatever they are thinking that was having an imprint in their energy. Is it just there? No, their parents. So all throughout ancestors, everybody was thinking, everybody was doing something. All of that had an imprint in the energy. And the net is in us. Now, the same energy is flowing in our body. When the same energy with all this carrying all this imprints is also flowing in our brain. That becomes our mind. And that puts us into a habitual tendencies. Even though we know that what is right and what is wrong, we tend to get back to what is more stronger, right? Which is there in the energy field that is tending us to go in one direction.
Karthik, sorry to interrupt, very sorry to interrupt. It looks like you have this meeting going on, and my Kayakalpa was supposed to start at 9 a.m. People are not able to.
Oh, sir. I'm sorry. I will let's conclude this.
Okay.
We'll share this. We'll share this recording in a later time. Be blessed by the divine.